Hi everybody, in this lesson we're going to be looking at a very common type of non-verbal reasoning called most alike, which is very similar to odd one out, which we did quite recently. It's very similar, but there are obviously some or a couple of differences that we need to be aware of. Okay, but before we do anything, let's talk about snaps. Good old snaps. But do we remember what snaps is? Okay, let me go to Annabelle. Annabelle, don't tell us what snaps stands for, but can you tell us what snaps is there for? What's the point of snaps?
The point of snaps is like when you're doing non-verbal reasoning and you don't know what the answer is, you just think you use snaps and that will help you.
Yeah, it's there to help us get an answer in non-verbal reasoning questions. Very good, Annabelle. Yes, that's exactly what it's there for, okay? So like Annabelle said, if we're doing a non-verbal reasoning question and we're struggling with it a little bit, snaps is going to help us. But we need to remember what SNAP stands for, okay? So let's go to Theo. Theo, what does the S in SNAP stands for? Do you remember?
Shape.
Good. Shape. Let's write that down here. Then Scarlett, what does the next letter stand for?
The N in SNAPS stands for number.
Perfect. Number. I'm trying my best to write neatly. Do you know how tricky it is to write using this mouse pad thing? All right, let's go to the next person. So Himank, what does the A in SNAP stands for? Himank, you there? All right, I can't hear you, Himank, so try and maybe sort out your microphone. Ragnar?
Angle.
Perfect. A stands for angle. Let's write that down. Then we move on to P. Let's go to Emma.
Uh, yes.
Do you remember,
I
Emma?
don't. No, I don't remember what P stands for.
No problem, Emma. You'll be in a minute. You're going to be reminded. I'm sure of it. Arianoki, do you remember what P stands for?
Position.
Good. Position. Let's write that one down. Position. Position. Then we go to Alexa.
Uh, was it sequence?
Not
Uh,
sequence.
I'm trying to think. Size.
Size. Good. Size. And the final letter. Let's go to Florence. Florence, do you remember what the final S stands for?
Shading.
Perfect. Shading. Let's write that down. SHADING. Okay, well done, guys. Right, so yes, so as Annabella said at the start, snaps helps us know what to look for in non-verbal reasoning questions, right? So if ever we struggle with non-verbal reasoning questions, if we remember snaps, we remember all the things that we need to look for. So the shapes that are involved, the number of things that are involved, the angle of the things that are involved, the position of the things, the size of the things, and the shading of the things, right? So I'm going through it quite briefly, although we've spoken about it quite a few times. But as the questions go on, we'll sort of talk about which snaps features are involved in each question, okay? So the type of question we're doing today is most alike. And we'll sort of go through this one together. So please don't send any answers just yet. And then it'll be your turn to do it all by yourself. Okay? So let's first do this one together. So I might ask you some questions as we go through it. Right, this is how it works. You are given two objects. So object one is right here, and object two is right here. Okay? What you need to do is decide which option from A to E, so here are our options from A to E, which one of these options, A, B, C, D, or E, is most similar to the two objects that we're given. Okay? Now, the way we do this is we've got to figure out what's the same about these two. Because once we've figured out what's the same about those two, then we can find out what's most similar from our options, okay? It might be, though, that there's more than one thing that's the same about them. We need to try and consider everything. And this is what we were just talking about. The shapes involved, number, angle, position, size, and shading. Okay, but we don't go to that unless we really need help. Because what we might do instead is look at these two things, and we might already be able to see what's similar about them without using the snaps, just by looking at it, okay? So, let me go to the list. And I'm going to go to Chrissy. Chrissy, can you tell me something that is similar, just one thing that's similar about these two?
They both have a black circle in the middle.
Cool, perfect. That's one thing. And Chrissy, what part of snaps would that come under? So shape, number, angle, position, size, and shading. The black circle, what do you reckon?
Shading and shape.
Yeah, shading and shape. We've got the circle and it's black. So the shading and the shape, perfect, okay? So it proves that Snaps has already helped us, yeah? Okay, so both of those have a black circle. So we'd expect to see a black circle in our answer. So we're going to get rid of B. But remember, what we're not going to do is this. Just in case we want to look later on. Maybe we make a mistake, you know, we want to look at B again. So what I would do is I would just do like a little dot or something. Or maybe even a little cross just here. Yeah, it's not that one, but maybe I'll come back to it. You never know. Okay, so we went to Chrissy. Now let's go back round the list. Annabelle, we managed to get rid of B. What else is similar? Oh, actually, excuse me, and E, right? E's got a big black rectangle, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I do apologise. Okay, Annabelle, what else is similar about the two objects?
What is similar that the
Shall I go to someone else, Annabelle?
yes, please.
No problem. Thanks for trying. Thanks for having a go. Scarlett, can you see anything that's similar about those two?
What's similar about those two is that the black circles in the middle both have 4 shapes surrounding them.
They both have 4 shapes surrounding it. All right, thank you, Scarlett. We can see that both of these objects have 4 shapes surrounding the black circle. So that's similar about those two, which means our answer needs to share that as well. It needs to have 4 objects around the black circle. So if you look at A, that's got 4 objects around the black circle. If we look at C, that's got 4 objects around the black circle. But D doesn't. It has a 4-sided shape around the black circle, but not 4 objects. It's one object, just one massive square, right? So we can rule out D, which leaves us with A and C. Now this might be the time to start thinking about snaps more specifically, or maybe not. Let's go to Himang. Himang, can you see anything else that's the same about our 2 objects that are going to help us find the answer?
To find the answer between A and C, the thing that's above is given as like a 4-sided shape. So we need to look like something like a 4-sided shape, like a square and a rectangle.
Good. Well noticed. If we look at the objects, guys, as Himang said, the black circles are surrounded by shapes, but specifically, they're surrounded by 4-sided shapes. They're surrounded by quadrilaterals. We've got rectangle, 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 square, 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 square. So they're surrounded by 4-sided shapes. Because they're both surrounded by 4-sided shapes, let's check our options, right? A is surrounded by triangles, which are not quadrilaterals. And C, we've got like these parallelograms, haven't we? And they are quadrilaterals. They are 4-sided shapes. So we've found our answer. Okay, so that's how it works. I don't think there's anything else really to add to what you guys already pointed out. But really quickly, we spoke about shapes. We spoke about the idea of quadrilaterals. We spoke about the number 4. We didn't really speak about angle. We spoke about position because we said that the 4-sided shape surrounded the circle. We didn't talk about size, but we did talk about shading. So can you see that in that question alone, four features of snaps were used. That's why snaps is really, really important. Okay. Are you ready to do it all by yourself? So have a look at this next question, and in the next 1 minute, can you send to me the answer in the chat box? Give it a go, guys. Okay, thank you, Annabelle and Scarlett. Thank you. Interesting. It's interesting. Quite. Well done, Hannah. Quite a few of you are saying the same incorrect answer, which is fine. We'll talk about why it's incorrect in a minute. Thank you, Arian. Okay. It is a bit of a tricky one, especially between. I think for me, there's two that I think it could be, but there's one that's a little bit more like the other two. Remember, that's what we're talking about, the most similar. So even if your argument might be, well, it could be two of them, then you need to ask yourself, well, which is the most similar? Which one shares maybe another feature of snaps that the other one doesn't? And there's only one answer here. Scarlett and Annabelle, that's correct. Oh, I said that already, didn't I? Hey, Monk, perfect. All right, 15 seconds. Emma, perfect. Lucas, brilliant. Well done, Lucas. Welcome and well done. Well done, Chrissy, perfect. Oscar, perfect. Gosima, perfect. This is more like it, guys. Ragnar, perfect. Okay, shall we go through it? So I'm going to ask someone who... Oh, we asked Himonk last. But I've got to make sure I pick someone that's got the answer right. Oh, Ragnar. Let's go to Ragnar. Okay, Ragnar, you said C. The answer is C, but how do you know?
I think it's C because it's like the circle is like there's like 3 layers, and also the rectangle also has 3 layers. So then I looked at the answers, and A is wrong because they're all connected to each other, and B is wrong because they're on each other. D is wrong because there's only 2 layers. E is wrong because the whole thing and the middle and the center is white. So the answer is C.
Yeah, very well explained. And you know what? The thing with non-verbal reasoning sometimes is if you, not all the time, but sometimes if you look at the right thing, it sometimes allows you to get rid of 4 options and then leaves you with the one correct answer, which is what Ragnar did. But had we looked at it another way, maybe we wouldn't have got the answer quicker, but it doesn't really matter, does it? It doesn't matter what part of snaps we look at first. But in this case, by looking at the idea that we have an enclosed shape with 3, let's use Ragnar's word, like 3 layers, let's use that word, told us that the answer is C, didn't it? Because like Ragnar said, A, they're joined, but they're not contained. B are joined, but not contained. C, D, and E are all contained. Good. So it could be these 3. But then Ragnar also spotted that we have those 3 sections. C's got 3 sections. We've got the outside, the middle, and the inside. D's got 2, and E's got 2. But it might be the case, right? I know you know the answer now, but I just want to make a point quickly. Let's say that you looked at, I don't know, colour, like shading first, right? Then you would have noticed that maybe you could have said, each of these objects has one black section. Then we could keep D, we could keep C, we could keep B, we get rid of A because it has two, we get rid of E because it has none. Do you see now that we've got three options left rather than one? So it doesn't matter, because then we could look for something else in Snap. So it doesn't matter how we get to our answer. Sometimes we're luckier with the thing we identify first, but as long as we consider all of Snap's features, we will get to the answer, okay? All right, well done, guys. Let's take a look at another one. Give this one a go, guys. Perfect, Theo. Perfect, Arian Oki. Perfect, Annabelle. Perfect, Florence. Perfect, Jordan. Perfect, Scarlett. Perfect, Alexa. Okay, 15 seconds. Perfect, Thomas. Perfect, Hannah. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, let's go through it. So next on the list is Emma. Emma, do you want to give this a go, or did you need a bit more time?
I'll work my way through.
Yeah, why not? Let's do it.
So first I looked at the outer shapes,
Mm-hmm.
and the first shape has 5 sides.
Just count a bit more carefully, Emma, on the
Wait,
outside.
one. Oh, I meant 6 sides, and the inner shape has 5 sides. I've counted.
Okay.
Yeah, 5. So the one away.
Can I give you a bit of advice, Emma, really quickly?
Yep.
What I would do is I would deal with one thing at a time. So you know how you spoke about the inside shape? That's
Yeah.
great, but shall we deal with the outside shape first? So there's 6 on the left side, and then maybe we could look at the outside shape here, and then rule stuff out.
And the other one, 1, 2, 3, 4, also has 6.
Perfect. So because
They
they both
both
have
have 6 sides.
cool. So let's go to the options. What ones can we rule out?
We can rule out A. We can rule out B. We can rule out D. And we can rule out E.
Amazing.
So only one's left. C.
Perfect. So well done, Emma. Like we said earlier, when Ragnar was answering his question, if we sometimes choose the right thing to look at, not often, but sometimes, using that thing alone can deduct so many options. So in this case, we managed to get rid of 4 options based on that one fact, that the outside shapes all have 6 sides. Now, let me ask you a question. Let me ask who's next on the list. I'm going to ask Gusima. Gusima, let me ask you a question, right? Why do you think that when Emma was going through that, I didn't do this? Right, it can't be A because that's got 3 sides. It can't be B because that's definitely got way more than 6 sides. It could be C. It can't be D. It can't be E. Why do you think that I didn't put big crosses through them?
Great. Did you say why shouldn't I put
Yeah,
crosses
what?
for them?
Yeah, what's wrong with doing what I just did here, putting crosses through the ones I
Oh,
didn't think it was?
because in the test, if you cross out the one which which you think is wrong but is right, and then you find out that it's right after, and you try and put a circle over it, the computer might think that you crossed it out.
Well, yeah, pretty much. So, like, let me show you something, guys. Imagine I did this, right? Can't be A because that's not got 6 sides. Can't be B because that's not got 6 sides. Let's imagine option C didn't have 6 sides. Let's imagine it had 5, okay? We know it's got 6, but let's say it's got 5. Can't be C. Can't be D. Can't be E. Suddenly, I've crossed them all out and I've realised that the 6 sides on the outside didn't matter. Now, to this question, it did matter, but there was no guarantee. There was no guarantee that the outside shape was the thing that determined the answer of the question. It could have come down to this shape here, right? So as we're going through and working these questions out, I'm terrible at this, as you know. It's important that we don't cross things out with a massive cross. Just put something, a tiny little cross above it, so you know that you've considered it, but you can go back to it if you need to. All right, well done, guys. Let's take a look at another one. Give this one a go, and I'll speak to you again in about 1 minute. Perfekt, gösterme. Perfect, Florence. Perfect, Annabelle. This is a bit of a trickier one, isn't it? But remember, Snaps is there to help you. Okay, 15 seconds. Okay, 5. Well done, Arianoki. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Well done, Chrissy. All right, shall we go through it? Let's look at the list. Arianoki, do you want to explain it, or did you kind of guess with a gut feeling?
We didn't guess
we didn't.
because after we noticed, so we put A at first because we thought it'd be a mix between both of them. But then we noticed it wasn't because they're moving
Because
forward.
all
one.
of them are moving. Because first we thought just the white was moving.
Yeah,
Because
and then the white moved to the front, and so that's why I thought it was C.
And also the reason it couldn't be D or E was because on D they're not all the same shape, but on E there are
There's only two.
All right, so let's take a look at one thing at a time. So tell me really quickly, what's the same about these two?
They
both have
they
three
both have the
shapes.
same shapes.
Good. So they only include the same shape. So we've got 3 squares, 3 triangles. So we can get rid of D. All right, what else is the same about these two?
They have 3 shapes.
3 shapes. So we can get rid of E because that only has 2.
Yeah.
What else is the same?
And then we
So-
noticed that they were moving forward
So position.
each time, which was position in snaps. And so you put the white one in the front, and that would be C, because otherwise there is one where the black one's not in the right place, because A is meant to be the middle, and B it's meant to be the back. So
At first we saw it was A because we saw the white one move, but then we decided it was C because the grey one moved to the back.
yeah, and it shouldn't have been in the middle, it should have been at the back.
Let's have a look. So yeah, I know what you guys are saying. Very well explained. Here's another way of looking at it, right? The colours are all in a sequence, aren't they? Because if we look at the shape on the left, the object on the left, we have white at the back, grey in the middle, and black at the front. So the sequence, if we go from back to right, would be white, grey, black. Now here, although it doesn't look like it, it's the same sequence because we've got white, grey, and then loops round black. So white, grey, black, white, grey, black. Yeah, do you see what? For those who are a bit confused, look really carefully. White in front of that grey, and then we could say in front of that, but it's looped round again. So black. All right. So we're looking for a sequence that does that. Now this one doesn't. If we always start with white, let's read it aloud, right? This one would be white, black, grey. We're looking for white, grey, black. Okay. This one would be white, black, grey. Can't be that one. This one is white, grey, black. So it could be that one. And we've already ruled the other two out. Okay, so the answer is C. And once again, if we go to snaps, we spoke about the shapes, the number of shapes, the position of the shapes, the shading of the shapes. So this is what we were talking about earlier. If you're in an exam and you're doing a non-verbal reasoning paper and you just can't find the answer, just remember, have I looked at the shapes, number, angle, position, size and shading of everything in that image? Okay, ready for another one? Give this one a go, guys. Perfect Gersima. Perfect Ragnar. Perfect Annabelle. Perfect Lucas. Guys, this is really good speed. Perfect Scarlet. Perfect Alexa. Perfect Hannah R. Perfect Jordan. Perfect Arian Oki. Alright, I'm going to have to pick someone who both has their hand up and has the correct answer. So that brings us on to oops, sorry, Annabelle, I actually lowered your hand. I didn't mean to. Annabelle, yeah, Annabelle, you are correct. So, Annabelle, can you explain this one?
Yeah, and I think the answer's D. Because first I looked at the outside shape, and they're both not the same. So it doesn't matter what the outside shape is.
Okay, good.
And then I looked at the color of the background from the outside shape, which they're both white. So we
Cool.
can eliminate A and E. And then I counted the size from the outside shape, and it's 5. And the other one is 4. And then for the next boxed shape, it's 4 for the outside and 3 for the inside. And then at first, I thought that there's nothing in related with them. But then I saw that it's 1 minus, like, line for both of them. So it can't be B because it's 6 on the inside and 5 on the outside. And the other two are okay. And then I looked at what was different, and that one of the lines are going one way of horizontal and the other one is going the other way of horizontal. But in both of the options, it's going to the left side diagonal.
Good, like this one, yeah.
And then C is going the other way, so the answer is D.
Amazing. Good explanation. Very, very good explanation. All right, so obviously Annabelle's explained that really well, so I don't need to explain it again, but I will just pick up on a couple of things, right? Firstly, it's very difficult to know how to describe the shading, right? So, like, we can see that in this image here, the shading's going in this direction, isn't it? And in this image, it's going in this direction as well. And in this image, see, it's going in the other direction. It's going like this, okay? If you can't describe that in words, you really don't need to, okay? You're doing a non-verbal reasoning exam. As long as you can see it, as long as you can think it, that's fine. So don't worry about being able to articulate how, you know, what you're looking at. As long as you know what you're looking at. So that's the first thing. So perfect, Annabelle, well explained. The second thing that I want to talk about is really, really important actually, and that was when Annabelle said, this has got 6 on the outside, sorry, 5 on the outside, this has got 4 on the outside, so the outside shape does not matter. Perfect. It doesn't matter. We could have had a trapezium on the outside, a pentagon, a heptagon, an octagon, a nonagon. It wouldn't have mattered because these two don't share that characteristic, okay? All right, amazing. We've got one more left to do now, okay? Before we do, really, really quickly, let's go to the next person on the list. 2 seconds. Who is it? Who's the next person? Scarlett. Scarlett, can you quickly tell me which of those snaps features were involved in Annabelle's explanation?
I think shading was involved and also shape.
I would say 2 more things maybe?
And number.
Number.
And sorry, that's all I know.
Sorry?
That's what I can think of, sorry.
No, that's all right. That's fine. There are the 3 main things. I would say maybe position as well. Just because we looked at the inside shape and we saw that it was literally inside another shape. Even though we didn't really need to think about it because we can see that quite clearly, it's still involved. But you are right. The only things we really need to speak about, Scarlett, you're correct, are shape, number, and shading. Amazing. Well done, guys. We've got one more left. So give this all you've got. Perfect. Oscar. Perfect. Ragnar. Perfect. Florence. Hemant, please send your answer just once, okay? You don't need to spam your answer, but well done. Is correct. Perfect, Alexa. Perfect, Scarlett. Perfect, Thomas. Perfect Arianoki. Perfect Chrissy. Perfect Hannah R. Perfect Jordan. Perfect Emma. This is really good, guys. Perfect Lucas. Alright, Florence, do you fancy explaining this one, or was it more of a guess?
I didn't guess this one.
You
So-
did guess or you didn't guess?
I didn't
Oh,
guess.
perfect. Alright, let's hear it.
Okay, so first thing what I noticed is that like the shape on the top of the bottom shape is getting smaller.
Amazing.
So it can't be A, it can't be C, and we can keep all the others, I think, yeah.
Good.
I also noticed that on the bottom on the right side, the shape is like it's like facing, like, if you know what I mean, it's like facing right. You know what I mean?
Good. It's rotated to the right, clockwise.
Yeah.
Perfect. Very good.
So we can get rid of D, and E is on the other side. It's on the left, so we can get rid of E. So we know that our answer is now B.
Florence, you are amazing. Very, very good. Fantastic. Fantastic explanation. I don't think I can add anything to that. But what I will ask, let's ask George. George, which features of snaps were involved in Florence's amazing explanation? Shall I ask someone else, George?
Shape,
Oh, shape, good.
angle,
Yeah, it rotated clockwise. Perfect. Angle.
and maybe it could be position too.
Yeah, because there was an object that moved to the right hand side. I reckon another one as well. Remember what she said at the start about the top one?
Oh, and size.
Good. Perfect. Well done, George. Yes, size. The top one's getting smaller is what Florence said. The word smaller. So, guys, this is proof, right, that snaps is incredibly powerful when it comes to non-verbal reasoning, and not just for this type. Many, many types. You might also argue shading, because it could be the fact that someone noticed there was shading at the bottom here. Yeah, just stuff like that. You know, it might not have been instrumental to our answer, but it exists within the question, and that's why it's so important that we're really confident with snaps. All right, well done, guys. You've been amazing as usual today.